Okay, so first of all, I think glad to be back face to face. And other thing, what you're seeing in the back is a charging forward. So just to brief about that charging forward strategy, when we talk about BorgWarner is extensively working on this for the last few years, organically, inorganically, of growing our portfolio on the EV side. And as a company strategy, we are targeting by 2030, we should have 45% revenue coming out of electrification. So that does not mean we are not working on the other portfolios what we had. So ICE is still very much alive, but we are working on all alternate fuels, flex fuels, and also hydrogen ICE. So in this auto show, we are bringing those technology what we have from the last Auto Expo to now what we have brought in. So everything is getting showcased here. So we are very excited about it. Now the Indian government and the OEMs are also moving towards it. So we hope things will be much more brighter for future for us and for the OEMs.
Sure, absolutely. So let's start maybe with the organic products. So in my business unit, the ETTS, emission thermal and turbo systems, we have really accelerated on the high voltage coolant heaters. That's for battery cooling, but also for cabin cooling or cabin temperature measurement. We're basically a world leader, world market leader on this with the recent wins we have with all major OEMs. That's great. We have now a new product. It's a high voltage E-fan, 800 volts between 5 and 40 kilowatts, mostly for commercial vehicle applications. So you can see we are in the passenger car and commercial vehicle. When you go outside, you're going to see charging stations now. We had recent some acquisitions. We're going to be very placed, well placed in all regions of the world. That allows us actually. So now we're connecting charging and the complete electrical powertrain. So, and because we were saying basically to be successful, you need to be efficient in the whole system. So we have charging stations, we have our inverter program. We're going to see we won significant amount of business on the inverters in our PDS division. So significant progress there. That is organically developed based on our Delphi acquisition we did, right? That's how BorgWarner does things, right? We acquire companies, integrate them, and really accelerate with our product lines. But we have also products for hydrogen combustion. Like our fuel injection system division is developing injectors for that. We also have turbos and EGR for hydrogen combustion, which we think is some sort of intermediate step. So as you can see, this is really accelerating. As I said, inverters, special motors for that. We have the complete product portfolio. It's going to be a pleasure afterwards leading you around a little bit and showing you our products.
One side we are talking about product, but then, typical thing is the traction in India about this. So though number-wise it is still low, but we are seeing that excitement and the government push and everything. With that, we are also equally excited, and that's how the BorgWarner push in India is also great. For the first time, we are having a tech centers in India. So Bangalore, we have opened already for the fuel system, vertical, and next week you'll be hearing the announcement for even the PDS. So in Bangalore again, it's close to going to be 1,000 seats. So tech centers is not a small activities. So this is the first time I would say that we are coming with tech center first in India. Invest that support for the customer, what Indian customer looks from any multinational company is already coming into India first. So this will be up to the calibration stage. We will be able to support the customer. So that's a good thing which is happening, and I'm sure with that we can stay at the pole position the way we want always to be, and we'll be able to support also perfectly to the customers. Yeah. Again, from the business unit, what we represent of BorgWarner, if I talk about a high voltage coolant heater, when we started, everybody started looking at, India is a hot country, why this will be required. But then India is not a local market now. What we manufacture is exported also. Plus, India is all-weather country also. So there's a good excitement and good traction on that. And we are having already one business on those products in India, and we are excited for more in the next few months to win more business on that. We are engaged with many customers on that. So that's a good thing which is happening. So one, there's slow progress in terms, but everybody is looking at 25, 26, 27 when major announcements on the EV side are there. Yes, this is the time of fixing which are going to be supplier customer relationship, and when we look at 25, 26, 27, I think we'll be there.
Right. Maybe one additional comment. If I compare the last show, what was it, 2020, right before Corona, that was very slow. Not too much interest on the EV side. If we look what happened yesterday, every customer passing by, it's great. Because I think that's important, that the local customers here are pulling technology, and we can see that. And that's great for us because we have our technology ready, right? But it needs to be adapted, obviously, to the specific needs here, and we're absolutely capable of doing that. And customers are pulling, and we're here, and we just need to make a successful story out of it. So it's a fantastic time to be here.
And I think that we as a local customer also, though we are producers of the components or the OEMs producing the vehicle, but as a customer also, we don't want anything less than what is being sold worldwide, right? So that is the real pull which is making everybody. And the last but not the least is the biggest one, I would say, is the government push. I think the environment is perfectly conducive at this one for this, and that's what we are excited about. Without naming or without giving numbers, I would say BorgWarner strategy is simple. Whichever market, whichever product strategy you choose, you have to be number one or number two. So that's why we don't believe in shipping components one continent to other continent, right? So we are close to customer as a manufacturing strategy, and typically that next step always is from application engineering to the end of life support to the customer. So each of the business unit which is represented here and have a manufacturing base, they have those set up within plant. That means we don't have to every time, like many multinational are normally accused, that you always give a phone call here, then your response time is after a few weeks. So we don't have that challenge. We have trained people available in every business unit here who have been to tech centers, and today what you're seeing is chief engineers and everybody standing outside from the business unit. I think that's a strength what we have, and that's what we normally, for Auto Expo, it may not be great, but just to emphasize, we call it lags. It's not lagging, the word English, it is local accountability, global strength. That means the plant is doing the business, but the global strength is always present, supporting. So that's how the great model we work on, and it's doing well for us.
Yeah, as you can see here, if you walk through our stand here, you can see a lot of the global engineering from the different divisions that are here. Because, so as Chawla said, we need to have the competence here. Our people need to be able to respond fast to our customers here. So we're building this up, and we have also our global organization being here, making sure we bring the support in, whatever is needed. And there's a strong cooperation. And what the exciting thing is right now, that we start developing specifically areas here in India as part of the global cooperation that we have in our country, in our company. And I think that's really great, because that allows also the engineers here to respond faster to you. They know what's going on. They know how the products have been developed. And what we do also, we learn from your requirements, right? The earliest we are with the customer, the better we understand the requirement, and that goes into the global design. So it's a fantastic cooperation we have here with the local teams.
And I think the Bangalore of 2 Tech Center, which I'm talking about, is perfectly aligned to that strategy, right? What we have done in India specific, so the first and foremost is, what product we have, introducing them to the customer, and then they pick and choose with us what they require. And then there we start the first job. Just like in any product, what their specifications, get back to our technical centers with engineers, sit down, teams. COVID has taught us how to virtually work also, so we stay engaged with them, and then if required, call the people here also and meet the specification and the requirement. And first and foremost, we are already started sending people from India to the global location, preparing for the future. So the products, till at this point, I think most of the customers are first reaching to a stage of producing the first, except for few who are already taken a lead, but most of them are doing that. So I would say they are also using the already developed parts and how they can fit into India. But if it is tailor-made, yes, then we have to just discuss very clearly and transparently with them. It will take time to make those changes because we are also not in the mass production of everything. So anything when you go, it goes through a proto route, validation route. So it will take some time, but I think both OEMs and us, I think we are ready to do that.
Maybe let me add to this, to give two examples. So we recently won a high voltage coolant heater business here. So how did we adapt this to the local needs? Because, you know, if you look at the product, the way we designed the product, there's a certain core content which is similar, right? We need scale globally, right? So then it's really about adapted. So we adapted to your software needs, right? So the connectors plus the software that we adapt to your local needs, and maybe some brackets to make it fit in. So we make the system fit into the design space, adapt with connectors, adapt software, and then it fits. So we don't start from zero, right? So we build it based on already won and programs that are running in the field, very successful, and adapted to it. I give you another example. From commercial vehicles specifically, right? So the electric trucks now need cooling. Cooling's essential. So how do you cool this now? So we have developed this 800 volt electric cooling fan. You're going to see it out in the stand. So it's big, it goes up to this size, right? It's big, right? And the core is the same. But now how do we bring it and adapt it perfectly to your setup? Right, and what we do is we have developed simulation systems that allow us from the aero performance to make it best fit, to use best efficiency, to create best efficiency by simulating with the customer, make it fit in there. And with that, we also then choose the best motor setup. And then we, again, as I explained on the high voltage coolant heater, we have software interfaces that we develop specifically for you and the connectors. And with this way of doing this, based on and experienced technology, we're very fast, but we create specific systems here for our customers and make sure it's specifically adapted to the local needs.
And I think another point which I would like to highlight is, over a period of time, we have BorgWarner also from individual components, so we have become more system integrator and module suppliers. Any business we are picking up, everywhere we are trying to give end-to-end solutions to customers. That is another positive which BorgWarner brings to the customers. And typically when a transition of the technology is there, we learned that in BS4 to BS6, we started giving module system everywhere. So I think that way we are always looking from that perspective of giving how we can add value, basically.
Yeah, if you would have asked me 3 years ago, I would have said, slowly, let's see how that goes. I see an amazing change and acceleration. So I'm really excited about the Indian market. As we said at the beginning, the government is pushing here heavily. The customers are pushing. Targets have been defined. And we can see execution. And that's great, because that's the environment we need. But if everybody's pulling, then we can grow. And BorgWarner wants to grow here. BorgWarner is a growth company, so I believe we're going to see an exciting acceleration. And I think when we meet in 2 years again, here in the auto show, we're going to say, well, we underestimated the growth actually that's happening.
23 is again exciting. I think last year we had a good growth. It was a very good year, I would say. After the COVID, maybe the base was lower, that somebody can say, but nevertheless, executing those COVID times, commodity issues and everything, we still had a reasonable good growth. And fortunately for this year also, we are still seeing no adverse condition, though the geopolitical situation is different, but still we are hopeful that Indian market is going to go much higher heights and we'll be doing a good business this year also.
On the Auto Expo.
Auto Expo, yeah. So first and foremost, when you meet face to face, the equation is different, So I think that somehow in the business it never happens that always through teams meeting we can get the businesses. And to understand your real need as an engineering product manufacturer, we have to feel the parts and understand the requirements. So I think that's a great thing which is happening. And seeing the senior leadership of every OEM coming and visiting and spending time on the stalls, it gives us a great hope. So this is meeting perfectly our intent, why we should be there in Auto Expo. I think we are very hopeful.
It's always exciting to be here. What it's important for the customers is feeling the product, looking at it, and seeing, hey, it's actually there. It's just not on PowerPoint, it's there. And we have those running with us, our customers. So we're not starting from zero. So that's why this is so important, the personal contact. Because at the end, it's a question of trust, right? Our customers trusting us, and we need to earn that trust, and we do it. And we show it every day with the performance of our teams. So that's why the personal relationship here is great and really developing. It's great to be here.